Long ago, in one ancient Greek kingdom, at a time when gods and mortals shared the same world, there lived a princess whose beauty rivaled the heavens themselves. Her name was Psyche. Her beauty was so breathtaking that mortals abandoned their temples to Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and instead worshipped her. But beauty is not always a blessing, for jealousy lurked in the hearts of both mortals and gods. Her two older sisters, Cassia and Lyra, seethed with envy. Every whispered praise of Psyche felt like a blade to their pride. They would watch her from the palace balcony, their hearts twisting with resentment. Even Psyche's father, King Lysander, despite his love, could not escape the weight of fear. He worried the gods' jealousy would bring ruin upon his beloved daughter. Yet through it all, he stood by her side, offering words of comfort she clung to like a lifeline. But in the heavens, Aphrodite burned with fury. She would not be overshadowed by a mere mortal. In her anger, she summoned her son, Eros, the god of desire. She ordered him to strike Psyche with his enchanted arrow, to make her fall hopelessly in love with a monster. Obedient yet curious, Eros descended to the mortal world. But when his gaze fell upon Psyche, her gentle beauty, her quiet sorrow, he hesitated. And in that moment, fate turned against him. By accident, he pricked his own finger with the arrow, and the mighty god of love fell helplessly for the girl he was meant to curse. While mortals worshipped Psyche, no man dared to love her, because Eros refused to awaken the desire for Psyche in any man since he was in love with the girl. Desperation led her father to seek an oracle's wisdom. The prophecy was cruel. Psyche was destined to marry not a man, but a creature feared by both gods and mortals. The princess shall be left at the peak of the mountain with a matrimonial attire. With a heavy heart, King Lysander prepared to lose his daughter. Dressed in mourning, Psyche was led to a lonely mountain peak, where the winds of destiny swept her away. When she awoke, she found herself in a palace of unimaginable beauty. As she entered the palace, she heard a soft voice, but could not see where it was coming from. "My lady, everything you see now belong to you, and we at your disposal to assist you in anything you wish." There was no one around her, but the young woman understood these were invisible servants. They helped her in the bath, at meal, and sang played beautiful songs. "Now you shall go to your room and wait for our master. And what's your matter like? They said he's a monster. Some have mentioned him that way, but in fact he's not evil, just volatile." Already in her room, Psyche, distressed, was waiting for her fate. The room was in utter darkness, and it was impossible to see through the dark. A mysterious husband came to her, his touch warm, his voice tender. Yet there was one rule: she must never see his face. At first, Psyche found joy in his embrace. His words melted her fears, his hands traced her skin with devotion. And on the first night, as moonlight poured through the palace windows, he came to her. His touch was soft, a whisper against her skin, igniting a fire deep within her. Psyche's heart pounded as his fingers trailed down her arm, drawing her closer. His breath was warm against her neck, sending shivers through her body. Without seeing his face, she felt the weight of his desire, the tenderness of a love unspoken. He kissed her slowly, each touch filled with longing, as if he had waited for her for an eternity. Psyche trembled beneath his hands, yet she did not pull away. Instead, she leaned into him, her lips parting beneath his, surrendering to the sweet ache he stirred within her. He laid her down upon silk-covered sheets, his hands caressing every curve of her body with reverence. Each kiss deepened, every touch drew them closer, until their hearts seemed to beat as one. In the dark, there were no fears, only the warmth of his embrace, and the unspoken promise that she was his. Night after night, their love blossomed in the shadows. In his arms, Psyche found both comfort and desire. Yet as time passed, the mystery gnawed at her heart. What kind of man hid in the shadows? Was he the monster the oracle foretold? On one of those, Psyche couldn't resist and asked, "My love, why do you always hide in the shadows? I would so much like to know who you really are. Isn't the love we share enough? All I am asking is that you never see me. In the darkness we are equals. I am sorry if I annoyed you, wasn't my intention." Psyche decided to respect her husband's request and stop touching the subject. Time passed, and despite being very happy, Psyche missed her family. "Husband of mine, I miss my family so much, and it hurts my heart to know that they think I am dead. I beg you to let me visit them." Eros accepted Psyche's request because, according to his thought, if she decided to return after being released, that would be the ultimate proof of her genuine love. "My beloved daughter, I thought I would never see you again." Psyche's relatives were surprised with the girl return, whom they thought they would never see again, and she returned with triumphant. Psyche was adorned with the most beautiful jewels. She looked like the riches of queen. "How is your life with your mysterious husband?" "It couldn't be more wonderful. He is sweet and does everything to please me." She told her sisters everything. Her jealous sisters, Cassia and Lyra, saw her happiness and could not bear it. They fed her doubts with poison-tipped words. "What if he is a beast?" they whispered. "Why does he hide from you? Surely he is a creature too hideous to face the light." Their words clung to Psyche's heart until, one night, curiosity overcame her. By the light of an oil lamp, she gazed upon her sleeping husband. And there, in the soft glow, she saw no monster, but Eros himself. His golden hair spilled over his shoulders. His face was so beautiful it seemed carved by the gods. Her heart pounded with awe and love. Yet as she leaned closer, a drop of hot oil fell onto his skin. Eros awoke with a start. Hurt and betrayed, he gazed at the woman he loved. "You have broken my trust," he said softly. "I can no longer stay." With those words he vanished, leaving Psyche alone in her sorrow. She tried to follow him, but she could not. She had no choice than to go back to her father with a broke heart, which made her sisters very content. Desperate to win him back, her father advises her to sought Aphrodite herself. But the goddess, still bitter with jealousy, set her 4 impossible tasks. First, Psyche was ordered to sort an endless mountain of grains, yet tiny ants, moved by her sorrow, came to her aid. Next, she had to gather golden fleece from fierce, enchanted rams, but a gentle reed by the river guided her to collect the wool safely. The third trial sent her to draw water from the deadly river Styx. An eagle, soaring high above, dipped low to fill her flask. The final and cruelest task was to descend to the underworld and retrieve a box of beauty from Persephone herself. Psyche completed each trial with courage and grace. But as she returned from the underworld, temptation overcame her. Hoping to make herself more beautiful for Eros, she opened the box, only to fall into an enchanted sleep. Eros, still longing for her, found her lifeless form. He lifted her into his arms, his heart breaking. No longer caring for his mother's wrath, he flew to Olympus and pleaded with Zeus himself. Moved by the depth of their love, Zeus granted Psyche immortality. She would become the goddess of the soul and forever be united with Eros. And so, in the heavens, their love endured. A love tested by jealousy, curiosity, and trial, but one that conquered even the wrath of the gods.